Ticker symbol VIRI, meeting our statistical targets almost to the penny. Let's go ahead and go over the possibilities for the following days. What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by. Once again, this is ARCa coming at you with a VIRI technicals, raw price action, and statistical threat of analysis on this Taco Tuesday. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share the video with a friend so that you and them could consider joining our trading community in Discord called ARCa Bulls. With that said, let's dive right into the charts. Okay, so yes, we are looking at ticker symbol VIRI on the daily here, and I would like to go over, just for the new viewers, right? Let's go over the what happened historically so that we know where we're going in the future, right? So broadening ascending wedge, right? Actually a right-angled broadening ascending wedge. This can have an upside target by figuring or taking actually into consideration a trend line from the point of breakout all the way to the lower end of the triangle, right? So then we apply that. We apply this trend line to the top side of where we broke out from, right? We were already this is a speculative breakout target, right? So we were looking at a potential target of about $1.56. Now, the reason we started drawing this resistance range here were for a couple of reasons, okay? First of all, the SMA 200 on the daily located at 191, and also the gap, right? So this candle here landing right at that 191 bottom as well. So we were able to catch a topside resistance based on those two things. Not only that is that we took an inverse Fibonacci ratio from the range high to the range low before it capitulated, right? And that gave us the 4.236 geometric level. Okay, now why did we choose this here though? Why did we choose this one? Well, we took a Fibonacci ratio from the overall swing high to the swing low of this range here, and we noticed that we came up to the 2.618 at 145. Okay, so this is the reason why we actually drew that box down to that 145 level, and we made that resistance a very possible one since it is the golden mean, right? So please notice that the 2.618 said 145, and if we hover over the last candle, you'll see that the H for high, it lands at 144. Okay, so that was the way we were able to get that topside target, of which it was met very nicely. Okay, so now let's go ahead and move on to the next chart, because there could still be a pretty awesome, actually, continuation to the upside. Oh, one more thing. We were also able to identify a potential upside coming in via the silver cross, which consists of the EMA 20 and the EMA 50 period. So the shorter term time frame exponential moving over the longer term time frame exponential is considered to be the silver cross in this case, and it is historically known to be a pretty powerful cross. Not as powerful as the golden, or a lot of people don't seem to think so, but I tend to follow this cross often, right? So yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the next chart and see what we have. Okay, so part of the statistical backtest, right? The criteria was that any time that we have contracted within the critical volatility zone, which is within the 15th percentile. First of all, this is BBWP representing volatility, this indicator, right? So volatility is direction neutral. So we pair this with a momentum-based indicator to give us that bias for direction. So anytime that we have contracted into critical numbers here within the 15th percentile and started an expansion phase from that drop, paired with stochastic momentum with an upside pivot, I have taken into consideration every iteration where that has happened, historically speaking, on the bi-daily chart of the VIRI asset, right? So we have noticed here that we had a total of 5 iterations, of which 3 were guessed correctly to the upside, giving us an upside accuracy of 60% with a 50.03% upside thrust, right? So now applying that metric here, we actually we surpassed it by a lot, right? But still, we were still looking at a target of around $1.03. Of course, we went to 144, right? But we closed right near that same target. What I would like to point here is that we are still getting a very, very positive uptick here in money flow, right? So there is buy pressure coming in. Another thing that kind of validates the volatility versus momentum play is actually DMI. So we have DMI support as well. Anytime that the ADX indicator, the dotted white line, surpasses the 25 percentile, that usually gives precedence and it gives trending market to whoever's on top. In this case, the bulls are on top with a very aggressive upside continuation, and the bulls and the bears losing strength. This is on the bi-daily chart. Okay, so the 5-day iteration as well, similar backtest, except this one was from expansion to contraction. And we noticed actually on this 5-day that there were 5 of 5 iterations throughout the entire trading history of the VIRI asset, right? And those 5 iterations giving us a 100% accuracy, right, with an upside thrust of a 76% move to the upside. So upon the firing of the signal, we actually saw that we could have potentially made a move to about almost 99 cents, right? So we since closed very close to that target. We closed at 97 cents, right? Of course, the price action went to 144, right? But the statistical average, this was something that I was suggesting to be passed. I was not sticking to just the statistical mean. And the way I was expressing that was actually through the comparison of CXAI and VIRI, right? So we're in the sense that they have a similar capitulation phase, right? So really no historical price action within this enormous zone here, right? I'm talking about the 331 all the way to that target where we just hit 144. There is nothing in between there, which could kind of, with the right setup, you can actually slide right on up, right? So I did explain to everybody that upside move could be very volatile and very fast. It has happened, right? So now we just have to continue seeing what the possibilities are, because as of now, I see, just a tiny bit of weakness here on the EMA 7, but it's still pivoted towards the upside. And it's not only pivoted towards the upside, it is within the bullish control zone and also within the gravitational zone of the bullish control zone. So this is still suggesting an upside continuation. Remember that any of these things could be invalidated with literally any setup, right? So sentiment can actually just, if someone decides to just take huge profits, then, this thing can capitulate, thus increasing the supply, right? So let's go ahead and move on to the next chart, because this is something that is suggesting an upside continuation. What you are looking at here is the opposition of price action versus momentum, aka bullish divergence, and regular drives of it, right? So regular drives, why? Because we are making a series of higher lows in the momentum indicator, and we are making a series of lower lows in price action, right? Just like you see here. So several iterations stacked to this point right down here, to this pivot right over here, and you can see that the daily RSI signal has crossed upside of that 14-day simple moving average, thus suggesting a continuation to the upside. Of course, within the smaller time frames, there will be some ebb and flow, right? So let's just go ahead and see if we can kind of capture any of those details. And the way we're going to do that is actually just the way we always do, right? So let's go to the 30-minute immediate short-term time frame and take a look at that RSI and see what we have, right? So please just notice right now that this is a little bit of indicative of some consolidation. Similar situation happening here on the 4-hour as well. Consolidation there too. The 12-hour also has some consolidation too, okay, which is very curious. That just means that we could be in the validation of some type of support. What gives you that validation or that potential is a big hint from the 8-hour time frame. And what could that hint be? Well, we are right now at the support of the 14-day simple moving average in the bull strength percentile of the RSI, right? So this is the bull strength, this is bull weakness, bear weakness, and bear strength, okay? So that gravitational zone is located within 2% of any of the borders between the bears, between the strength and between the strength and the weakness percentiles. Can't speak right now, jeez. Okay, so yeah, so we are within that gravitational zone, which would essentially imply that we would be using that 14-day simple as a support before a continuation to the upside here. It is the 8-hour. It can take a day, right? But as soon as we start moving into the upper time frames, that's kind of like the powerhouse is there, right? So please notice here the daily time frame absolutely pivoted straight to the upside here. Historically speaking, we could still technically go up to about 85% before seeing any type of retracement. We're currently at about 80%. Let's look at the bi-daily. Please notice the bi-daily is actually at it's already discovering new highs here above this iteration here that happened in August 11th, 2022, and moving even further up. Actually, let me see the 3-day first. Yeah, the 3-day. Oh, yeah, very good for us to see the 3-day anyway, right? So the 3-day time frame is in the gravitational zone of the bull strength percentile, with an absolutely significant pivot towards the upside, and we still have about this topped out here at about 75%, and we're currently sitting at about 69.45%. Okay, so that still is a very large move. Actually, the space between the RSI and this top side here, that's a big area, right, you guys? So now let's look at the 5-day. Okay, so the 5-day iteration, man, it's barely entering the bull weakness percentile. The 14-day simple moving average getting that upside pivot. In about a day and 17 hours, I believe, we're going to be closing the 5-day iteration, and seeing that we have moved so far to the upside, very likely this 5-day RSI could be affected and then entered into the bull strength percentile. Okay, so it's looking very good. I would just have to express just a little bit of consolidation and some sideways trading for maybe for the duration of tomorrow. It really depends on the sentiment, right? Because this only started making its up run just a few days ago, right? So very impressive price action here, you guys. Just definitely know that in full transparency, I may long this, but if we are able to see any flashes to the downside, it would be actually in respects to maybe retesting this newly converted resistance right into now a support, as we haven't done that just yet. Right, so I mean, everything actually moved on to plan. We were talking about the retracement back for a loading zone back into this box here, located at 61.98 to 56.91 before a continuation to the upside. We got that huge bounce to the upside, resistance right at that area we were talking about. Very likely for this to find some type of support again before another massive pivot to the upside. So keep your eyes on ticker symbol VIRI and keep your eyes on your profits. Okay, please remember, you guys, that I'm not a financial advisor. Take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy or sell any assets whatsoever. Okay, so again, you guys, I have 1 or 2 more seats left in my ArcMasters trading course. This is going to be the last time I perform a trading course, guys. As I have to concentrate on my trading, right? So this is going to, or maybe it's going to be a long time before I consider another one, right? So this is definitely the last one. Find the email in the description below for you to get enrolled. Okay, you guys, well, thank you so much for watching. I wish you all very well, a very good night. Actually, please remember first and foremost that I'm not a financial advisor. Take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy or sell any assets whatsoever. Okay, you guys, do your own due diligence. Everything will be good. All right, you guys. But with that said, now I wish you well, a very good night, and I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios.